everyone. This is pretty exciting for us to be with you here today. My name is Rob Lloyd. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of a company called Hyperloop One, and we are very, very pleased that you're all able to join us here today. I'd like to welcome everyone, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the press, and our Hyperloop colleagues, many who've traveled from around the world to join us here today. I'd like to provide a very special welcome to His Excellency Matar Al-Tayer, Executive Director and Chairman, Road and Transport Authority, who joins us here today as we begin a really important journey together. We're going to make some announcements today as we begin to think of a next-generation transportation system in the United Arab Emirates and the entire Gulf region. I'd also like to provide my sincere thanks to a good friend that I met a year ago, the chairman of DP World, His Excellency Sultan bin Sulayem, who now sits on our company's board of directors and provides us advice and guidance about our business here and around the world. And I'd also like to thank a very good friend that I met this year at the Government Summit, His Excellency Mohammed Al-Gergawi, Minister of Cabinet Affairs in the Future, and our partners that we've been working with at the Dubai Future Foundation, and in particular, the Dubai Futures Accelerator that we had a team join just 9 weeks ago now, and we've seen tremendous results and assistance to be part of that program, and we're honored to be in the first companies that have participated. And therefore, I'd also like to thank His Excellency Saif Al-Alili. Without your support and that of the Accelerator, we wouldn't be here today, and I thank you for that. You know, under the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Dubai has become the world's transport and mobility hub. Just think of what we see every day, the great airline, I believe the world's best airline, Emirates. We look out the window, we see the port of Jebel Ali. We travel here to the most spectacular airports, the amazing new metro, the road systems. This has become a transportation hub and leader in the world. And this is a city that we believe, and in the Emirates, we believe that everything is possible. And therefore, we're inspired to be here because we do aspire to build the world's first Hyperloop here in the United Arab Emirates. That's our aspiration. We have a lot of work to do, but that's why we're here today. You know, when we meet in this building, it's breathtaking. It's a technological marvel as we look out and see the ability to build a structure like this. It's a fitting example of exactly what Dubai can do. It can do anything that others think impossible. And we see that across the entire United Arab Emirates. Dubai has now become the second home to many of us at Hyperloop One. We have a team on the ground here. We're working actively. It's getting bigger. We expect that we'll put roots down here as we build the next part of the innovation engine of our company, and we consider our participation here like a partnership. And we look forward to developing that partnership over the year as we go to take our project, building a Hyperloop, and move into absolutely top speed. We're here today to sign an historic agreement with our partners from RTA, represented by His Excellency Matar Al-Tayer. And we begin to evaluate the delivery of the world's first Hyperloop system across the country and look for the most promising of those initial routes that we can build together in this country, and I hope right here in Dubai. As a result of this agreement, we'll initially focus on the value that Hyperloop One can deliver in Dubai, across the Emirates, and as you'll see this morning, an entire vision for the GCC and for the region. And we'll lay that out because every part of this is like a broader network. And the bigger the network, the more value that we bring to economies, the more we transform lives, and the bigger the impact we have. So we're extremely excited now to hear from His Excellency and a few words. So if I could ask you to join us, Your Excellency, please join me on stage.
Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's event on Hyperloop launching in Dubai, the city of the future. As you know, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of UAE and ruler of Dubai, has a leadership vision and long and strong interest in making Dubai one of the pioneering cities in many aspects, including mobility. His Highness has recently launched UAE Strategy for the Future. The strategy is a comprehensive roadmap that will make the nation to the extra era of development. To be at the forefront of the future mobility, RTA is working closely with Dubai Future Accelerator to pioneer the invention and production of the innovative mobility services and solutions for the future. This will provide an opportunity to transform the UAE from technology consumer to technology creator, including expertise for a new global industry, and is in the line with UAE Vision 2021. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum has set up a target for 25% of trips in Dubai to be driverless by year 2030. And RTA is working to achieve this target and soon will complete full strategy for the autonomous transportation in Dubai. Many of you know that we have already started testing driverless cars in some parts of the city, and we are looking at possible technology for driverless buses as well. His Highness has also set up the target for Dubai to be the smartest city in the world by 2017. To achieve this vision, Dubai developed a smart city strategy covering 6 dimensions, with smart mobility being one of them. To be in line with Dubai Smart City Strategy, RTA developed its smart mobility strategy that focuses on making the transport user happy, not only by providing mainstream requirements by exceeding their expectation and enriching their experiences through several innovative and smart services. Our strategy focuses on accessibility, affordability, safety, security, health, and lifestyle. It ensures seamlessly integrated mobility services through the provision of real-time information to all passengers in 620 locations that include bus stations, bus shelters, and metro stations. Under this strategy, RTA has already developed and implemented number of smart mobility initiatives, the most important of which is the Dubai Integrated Mobility Platform, DIMP. DIMP integrates all transport modes under one umbrella. It allows users to visualize various trip options, plan their trips, and choose the one that suits them. We are not going to stop there, as there is a lot of more to come. We will bring even more smart, innovative mobility solutions, including individually tailored mobility services to meet each passenger's expectation, like car sharing, which was recently approved by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of Executive Council. This service promotes integration with public transportation and especially addresses the last mile challenge. More adoption of technology, including autonomous vehicles and flying drones, and also intensified role for big data and data analysis and optimization of mobility system in real time. Dubai is a city that understands global challenges, seizes the opportunity to pioneer in developing and implementing the most innovative solution to deal with these challenges. Within this context, we welcome and encourage all industry pioneers to present, prototype, and implement their solution in Dubai, the city where vision becomes reality, under the leadership and guidance of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. One of the leading companies in advanced mobility is Hyperloop One, and we are happy to work with them through the agreement that aims to create a new means of mobility and to jointly explore routes for Hyperloop system between Dubai and other cities inside and outside UAE. This will keep our region in forefront of mobility technology and innovation. People will be able to travel from Dubai to Abu Dhabi in 12 minutes, from Dubai to Fujairah in 10 minutes, and from Dubai to Riyadh in about 40 minutes. Finally, I would like to thank you all for being with us today, and I hope you will all benefit from the innovative solution that Dubai is working on. Thank you very much.
So, Your Excellency, should we sign?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So, just while we remove this table, we're going to spend a little bit of time to get us all a common grounding on this company, Hyperloop One. We're a startup. We're based in Los Angeles. We have 200 employees. Right now, we're going to show you in a second a little bit more about our company so you can visualize that. We're building a system in the desert right now. We have had the good fortune to raise $160 million of investment in our company. We'll need to raise a lot more as we move forward to build a full-scale system of this idea called Hyperloop. You've seen models here, but we firmly believe that the idea of Hyperloop is not about a model. It's about really demonstrating to the world that this is not just an idea, but a reality. So rather than me talking about it, why don't we show you it? We have a small video. Let's take a look.
If someone asks how do you get there, what do you say? Do you tell them about the packed train compartment? Or how you have to leave when they want you to leave? Do you tell them you got there 2 hours early just to sit and wait? Or about the excessive amounts of pollution, the endless queues, the accidents, congestion, overcrowding, inefficiency, how antiquated it all is? We're Hyperloop One, and we're going to change this.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I am Josh Geigel. This is a really exciting time for us. Proud to be here, honored to be here. And I'm the co-founder, president of engineering here at Hyperloop One. And we've come here today to reveal our vision for the future of mobility, not just here, but throughout the world. And it's going to be built on the high-speed backbone of Hyperloop. And the time is now for a new mode of transportation, and we feel this is just the place to do it. So what is Hyperloop? Well, it's a vehicle that moves inside a low-pressure environment. It's levitated via passive magnetic levitation, and that's not your grandfather's magnetic levitation. It's really this new stuff that's very, very cheap. It moves by using a linear electric machine or linear electric motor for propulsion, and it's autonomous. So when you combine all these different systems together, you form a very unique grouping, and that is a on-demand, weatherproof, direct-to-destination, ultra-safe, ultra-fast, ultra-reliable, energy-elegant system, and that's the key word, system, for moving people and goods. And as you saw before, we're building that right now. So we've assembled a team of 200 world-class engineers, technicians, fabricators, builders. We're based in downtown Los Angeles, California. We have a test and safety site in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is literally where we're building the prototype units. So we have large 3.3 meter diameter tubes. We have electromagnetic propulsion testing, and it's all taking place here. And we've begun construction of a full-scale test bed for Hyperloop. And early next year, we'll be testing a full-scale system, which is pretty exciting. And also in Las Vegas, we have the world's first Hyperloop manufacturing plant. And it's a 10,000 square meter facility. We're actually building the components that we're using out on the test bed and using across the world eventually. So about 2 months ago, we moved the full-time team out here to Dubai, and they've been working to bring Hyperloop to the UAE on 2 fronts. The first with DP World, and how does our system work with the cargo and the expansion plans at Jebel Ali and also throughout any ports throughout the world. And then, as you saw today, we signed the first commercial agreement here with the Road and Transport Authority. And that's the first step for us bringing Hyperloop to Dubai. And we've done this all very fast. Everything here is very fast as well. So just 2 years ago, I quit my job and went to a garage to co-found this company. These are some of the early days when I had slightly more hair than I do now. But in Dubai, we found a grouping, a partnership with people who like to build things fast, and that's what we like to do. And we've executed on that, and we continue to do that. So we're here today to show you what the future of mobility looks like when it's built upon the backbone of Hyperloop. And I'm not sure if you've seen, but it's definitely not a train in a tube. That's not what we're doing here. And if it's as elegant as anything, imagine the elevator ride you took up here. That's what we're going for. So typically, other modes of transportation require that when you go from A to B, you have to stop at every single point along the way. And even just watching this animation, it can feel frustrating, right? So Hyperloop can offer something better and something far different. So with smaller pods, you're able to go to your destination directly without stopping. In a two-way tube, the Hyperloop network is far different than most of the other systems you've seen before. And it can do it faster than you've ever seen. Think Abu Dhabi to Dubai in 12 minutes, Riyadh to Dubai in 48. So it's built around a couple core technologies. One of them is the tube, and this is the pressure-containing device or low-pressure environment. And that dramatically reduces the drag on any vehicle that may be inside. Inside the tube, we have our transporter, which contains the pods as well as mechanical and electrical systems. It can be loaded with pallets, smaller packages, cargo, anything like that. Or it can be loaded with passenger pods. So the passenger pods are highly customizable and designed to completely reinvent what it feels like to travel. And actually, if we think about that for a second, what if these pods could drive out on the road like other vehicles? Or if we took existing street vehicles and put them in the transporters. And if I sat right here, ordered an Uber from the Burj Khalifa and wanted to get to Abu Dhabi, what if I could do it with just one click? So imagine going door to door faster than you've gone before, and you could have been sitting in Capital City 10 minutes ago and been here, right now. So Hyperloop is going to be built upon an autonomous backbone. And so as companies develop these different cargo and passenger solutions, they'll be able to integrate into the Hyperloop network. And they'll have the ability to have what we're calling a digital key. And that digital key allows them access into the Hyperloop network to seamlessly move into the system, just like a fast pass or something similar would work on a toll lane. There'll be no stopping, there'll be none of that. It'll be just a very seamless experience. And quite simply, we're looking to move anyone or anything anywhere faster. So these are the core elements of our system, and they are meant to be the backbone or the foundational unit that we've had. And as we move through, they're simply a range extender for our other vehicles. So we partnered with Bjarke Ingels Group to help give this concept to life, to help bring it to life. Mr. Bjarke Ingels, the most recent recipient of the Aga Khan Award for Architecture. It's Bjarke Ingels. Yeah.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, so we've basically been invited to work with Hyperloop to try to imagine what would this transportation system feel like from people using it. And basically, the Hyperloop system combines the cargo carrying capacity of shipping with the speed of flight, with the energy efficiency of rail, and with the individual freedom of the private car. And essentially, you can say sort of continues this sort of constant acceleration in human travel that has happened since we started walking on two legs until the advent of the Hyperloop. And what's going to be the impact on our lives? Basically, because the Hyperloop travels inside a controlled environment, it will be safer than any other form of transportation because it's in a dedicated lane and it can take you straight to inner city areas. It will sort of eliminate or sort of avoid the congestion that is, like right now, tormenting almost all major urban areas, including this region. Because it eliminates the friction from the rail and from the air, it will be much more energy efficient than other systems. Because it's on demand and direct to destination, it will be more convenient than anything you know. And because it will gradually sort of replace other forms of transportation that have greater emissions, it will contribute to making the air of our cities and our environment cleaner. And finally, because it travels inside a tunnel or a tube, the noise will be contained and will be so compact that it either goes underground or within existing right-of-way, so it can be a very, very non-disruptive way of integrating into existing urban environments. So since the inception of the Hyperloop, we've come a long way, including the first tests. And now we've been spending the last couple of months working with Hyperloop on trying to imagine what is this technology going to feel like from the future users. So we started looking at specific scenarios of connections between cities around the world. We've looked, from Melbourne to Sydney in the south to Helsinki, Stockholm in the north. And of course, we're here right now to talk about what could be a loop between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And we really see this as the first step of something that could sort of go beyond and connect to Saudi Arabia, Doha, the entire sort of GCC Gulf region. And we studied different ways of integrating the loop. We looked at having the tube anchored in a tunnel offshore to have no interaction with existing urban environments, or just hugging along the coast. A more blatant sort of almost like connecting the dots, and finally looking at staying almost exclusively within the desert. And we actually found that in this case, the most obvious actually was also the most efficient, really the most blatant connection between the urban areas. So this could very well be a sort of a scenery from the road between Dubai and Abu Dhabi in a few years. So basically, just looking at the features of this loop. Basically, we imagine a phasing where we would begin only within Dubai. Then the next phases would then sort of expand to include Abu Dhabi, and from here we would expand to include the entire region. Just because you actually have a lot of unbuilt area within the desert, we actually have like very few places where we have to, navigate through agriculture or urban areas. So it's a perfect test bed for this technology. This also means that sometimes we will be in a tube above ground, sometimes we will tunnel below an existing urban area. We study the different sort of soil conditions, the landscapes we travel through, and finally, what we went up with is this Hyperloop, and this is a chart that basically maps the travel distances between the different destinations, and you can basically see that you can sort of literally hyper jump, if you like, from Abu Dhabi to Dubai Airport in less than 10 minutes, or from Dubai Airport to Al Maktoum in less than 5. Finally, if you look at a sort of comparison, the link from Dubai International Airport to Abu Dhabi International Airport, today you would have to spend more than 2 hours in a bus. You'd have to spend an hour and a half by car. You can take the Airbus in an hour and 20 minutes. There's a proposed train that can take you there in an hour, but the Hyperloop can actually take you there in less than 10 minutes. So it's really a game-changing form of transportation. And what would be the experience inside the pods from a passenger point of view? As Josh explained, we have this system where we can load different parts into the transporters. That means that we actually have the freedom to customize and create different environments that can be mixed and matched, even supplemented with cargo. It goes into the transporter and from here into the tube. But that basically means that there's actually an incredible variability in the elements that can go into the transporter. So we're right now sort of studying different designs of what would be the pods, what would be their layout, and we've been looking at this idea of making it more like a room than sitting inside a vehicle. You can imagine like different forms of layout. One could be more like a typical sort of transportation experience. One could be more like having a group meeting on a sort of on a longer Hyperloop journey, and finally you could have this sort of lounge environment. But essentially you have an incredible customization possible because of this modular element. Also, how are these, what's going to be the point of departure? How is it going to be integrated into our cities? And we tried looking at existing points of departure and arrival in our cities, airports, train stations, and basically depending on the scale and the complexity, there's like varying degrees of comfort, or let's say discomfort, varying degrees of orientation. Of course, if you're taking a subway where it's a relatively simple station, it might be quite easy to orient, but you have absolutely no on-demand capacity. You have to wait until the train arrives. Of course, when you're looking at, for instance, like a taxi stand or an Uber, you have more of an on-demand capacity, but they're at the expense of range and speed. And finally, as Josh mentioned, we're more sort of fascinated by this idea of the elevator lobby, where you arrive, you sort of announce where you want to go, and almost instantly a door opens and you're off to your destination. So that's basically what we want to do with the Hyperloop. We're bringing you something that will be completely obvious to navigate. They'll have this sort of smoothness of just sort of arriving and departing. It will be sort of direct to destination and on demand. It will really be similar, like the Hyper app will be like similar to using an Uber. You'll order where you want to go, and you'll be recognized as you arrive. And basically, just like an elevator door lighting up, it will sort of ping you. This is your pod. This is where you need to enter. So of course, to make this as simple as possible, we imagined this sort of linear navigation, arriving and departing. And of course, it can be sort of bent and shaped to form a circle or a radial layout. And when you look at these portals, as we've called the arrival and departure points of the Hyperloop, a portal is essentially at the end of an arrival and a departure tube. It forms a loop where people can get to the pods. Essentially, the pods lay out, forming sort of a long interface with people getting in and out. You'll have a transporter arriving, emptying the pods in and docking at the different gates, and from here people can move into the city. In return, people arriving will load into the pods and load into the transporter. Of course, the pods with the sort of road enabled will be able to sort of actually take you all the way to your destination or pick you up at home, bring you to the portal, and from here into the transporter. And just to give you sort of two touch points, we've looked at all the different portals in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but like just to look at the Etihad towers, we imagine a portal that could really be not just a connector to the rest of the region, but also a local connector, actually bringing people across the big roads to connect the Emirate Palace Hotel with the Etihad Towers. The circle sort of dips down and connects to the tube and to the rest of the Hyperloop system. This could be sort of a vision in the very near future. And here, sort of when you look at it like this, sort of very simple, elegant connection across the roads. Inside, you will notice that the waiting hall that you know from a traditional station has actually been eliminated, along with the whole idea of waiting itself. So basically, as you arrive, you will basically sort of be they will identify the pod that you need to take off from. You just basically go to exactly where it is, and from here you'll go straight to your final destination. So this could be Abu Dhabi in a few years. And in the other end of the loop, right at the foot of where we're sitting, we imagine the Burj Khalifa portal could basically be integrated with the landscape around the Burj Khalifa, almost as one of the circular fountains that you see at the base of the tower. Basically, we're going to have a very significant capacity coming in. So to sort of maximize the interface with arriving passengers, we imagine to splay the lines of pods in this sort of vertical array, making it possible for people arriving to sort of enter and have instant visual and physical access to their departing pods, cascading down to the level they're taking off from. In return, people arriving can move straight into the surrounding city. We bring in light from above. So basically, seen from where we're standing looking out, you'll just see this new beautiful fountain that is the new sort of portal where you depart. Below, you see this sort of massive capacity of pods coming in and out, being sort of laid out on multiple levels with a big, generous entrance that sort of takes you to exactly the level you are taking off from. And essentially, it could be like a very gentle gesture that the circle tilts up, creating an inviting entrance, inviting you to enter. As you arrive, you'll have this like experience where, with your handheld device, you'll be recognized, and your device, as well as the pod itself, will tell you where you have to go. And right from you step into the portal, you'll be able to see exactly where you have to move. So essentially, we imagine this is a journey that can take off from Dubai in 2020, potentially continue to Qatar in 2022, and from here to Saudi Arabia and beyond. And essentially what we are sort of seeing is that this is the beginning of a future that will completely transform our mental map of not only our city, but also the region and eventually the entire world, as our sort of habitual understandings of proximity and distance and time and space is being warped by this sort of virgin form of travel. So with the globe in view, I hand over to Josh.
All right, thanks, Bjarke. Thank you all for coming tonight. I hope you see the transformative power that Hyperloop can bring to the future of travel. And really, what I want to leave you with is Hyperloop is bringing the speed to the autonomous future. And even in a world where I can go from my door to your door in an autonomous car, I'm still going to care about how long it takes. And Hyperloop is door-to-door faster than you've ever gone before. That's what you should take away from here. And we're not selling cars, we're not selling boats, we're not selling trains, we're not selling planes. We're selling time. The future is time, the future is freedom, the future is autonomy, and the future is Hyperloop. So let's take a look.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our agenda. This video that you just seen, the vision we've laid out, has only been seen for the first time today here in Dubai. It's been our honor to join you. We're very proud to be a partner. We're excited for the future. And I will guarantee you what you just saw for the first time will be seen by over 1 billion people on the planet in the next few days. So thank you for joining us. Please join us, ask questions, enjoy some of the beautiful images, and I'd like to thank everyone for being here, and especially Your Excellencies for your participation. It's been an honor. Thank you very much.